Well, congratulations getting back in the win column. How must that feel?
Oh man, it feels good. Scratched my cornea a little bit, so forgive me if I'm, you know, wiping my eyes the whole time. But it feels good, especially after my last fight. I took that last fight with Tyson Nam on 2 weeks' notice, so I took a lot of heat from people online. I was like, "Oh, you doing this, doing that?" I'm like, "Dude, that was 2 weeks' notice. Just calm down." So I really wanted to show I could fight all 3 rounds. You know what I mean? And during that, after that nut shot, I was saying that that really cramped my stomach up throughout the fight, but like I said, Dewey Cooper always is like, it's not about how you feel, it's what you do. So I just was like, trying to remember that it's not about how I feel. Forget about how I feel. It's what I'm gonna do in this fight. I'm gonna push through this feeling, and I'm just gonna dig deep, and that's what I did.
And were you fighting with one eye as well? It looks like.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was fighting with one eye the whole time, because one of the exchanges, I think his hand, his finger, or his glove, I don't know what it was, kind of scratched my eye, and I kind of was like, oh man, but I didn't want to stop it. I didn't want to wave or anything like that because I wanted to keep the momentum going and keep on digging. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes when you stop the momentum, it can give them some rest, and I didn't want him to rest. I wanted to keep pushing.
You look like you're in quite a bit of pain with the eye. How long is that going to last? What's the next step for that eye?
Well, I'm gonna go to the ER right now and get some antibiotics and hopefully some numbing drops, and see from there.
So when it came down to the judges and it started being read as a split, were you concerned that it might go the other way?
Yeah, I'm always concerned, you know what I mean? But I truly believe that, God has a purpose for me, and He's brought me here for a reason. And so I'm just like, you know what, God, if this is my purpose to win, then that's my purpose. If my purpose is to lose, then I accept and I will come back. So I just was going to accept whatever the outcome was going to be.
And outside of that groin strike, were there any surprises in there?
Not really, wasn't really any surprises. I was trying to chop his legs. To be honest with you, I was trying to break his legs the whole fight because I know he didn't. Me and Dewey been working those body kicks, leg kicks. I know he doesn't check any kicks, and my whole mentality going in was breaking his legs. I was trying to break his legs, and I knew when he started talking to me, I was like, yeah, I'm getting close. I'm getting closer and closer, and I was just chopping his legs away. So I know he's gonna be waking up feeling that tomorrow morning, for sure, because my kicks are no joke.
What did you learn from that last loss that you brought into this fight?
Never take a fight on 2 weeks' notice. That's what I learned, because I had a terrible weight cut and I was cramping up so bad during my weight cut, and it made me do stupid things that I didn't want to do. Like I was trying to force the fight and do random flying knees because I felt like I couldn't go the distance because the weight cut was so terrible and I was cramping and all the emotions of everything going on, and you know what I mean? But it was meant to happen because after that fight, I ended up leaving Syndicate and meeting up with Dewey Cooper and Jason Manley, and that was the best decision ever because, Dewey had me running Mount Charleston and running the Red Rock Mountain and running all these mountains, and I've never ran before in my fights. And so the fact that Dewey had me, running these mountains, and when I got to the top of the mountain, just being like, looking around and being like, man, there's nobody else up here on these mountains. It's just me. And that's the feeling that I felt like, okay, so this is what it's going to be like to be a champion. I have to do things that nobody else is doing, and it's definitely lonely at the top. So I want to be there. And, not only that, but fighting on Black History Month, being a black athlete, and I've said this before, is very important to me because it gives me a platform for athletes coming up, young athletes coming up and paving the way. And there's athletes in my gym right now. There's a guy named Timmy Kawamba, and there's a girl named Angela Austria that really stand out to me. And being a black athlete is on Black History Month fighting is very important. Like I said, for I was a teacher, so my students, just giving a platform to them and having them not just black athletes but all athletes that are young, showing them like, yo, if you put the hard work in and hard work and dedication makes your fight night your celebration is what Dewey always said. So if you put the hard work in, anything can happen.
Do you have a black athlete that you look up to?
No, I do not have a black athlete I look up to. To be honest, I only look up to one person, and that is Jesus Christ, because he died for everything, for me, for us, and I know in this game it's more about the violence, and I'm okay with being the Jesus freak. I'm totally okay with that. Everyone has their own path, but that's the beauty about the UFC. There's a stage for everybody. There's the Conor McGregors, the Sean Stricklands, and then there's the Jesus freaks like me. And I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that, because the world needs more people like myself that can have a positive outcome and share positive messages. It's not all about violence and trash talking. Sometimes it's like, hey, let's motivate the youth, and let's bring some peace along with it too.
And I guess my last question is, how soon do you want to get back in there, and do you have an opponent in mind?
You know what? It'll be once I get my eye situation figured out, we'll plan it out, and I'll talk to my managers and my coaches. But there is a guy that I would love to fight, because I think he's a very exciting fight, and I think we would put on a show, a banger, and that's Matt Schnell. I think we put on a great performance, because he comes to fight, I come to fight, and I think that's the game. People want to see entertaining fights, and I think we would be an entertaining fight.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Just a couple on the eye. How many stitches did you get?
Too many stitches. I don't even know.
Yeah. And did they sort of give? I know you said you had to get it checked out to whether there's damage to the cornea or anything. Did the commission sort of give you an idea of sort of medical suspension, what you're sort of facing off right off the bat?
No medical suspension. I probably will just go to the ER and go from there.
Yeah.
Seeing where I have to go, but it was great though, because I was fighting with like cramps in my stomach from that groin shot and then one eye. And so I liked it, because it was like my warrior moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, can I dig deep and fight through this fight with one eye and cramping stomach? And the answer is yes, I could. You know what I'm saying? And I was able to dig deep through those trials and tribulations. So I know it sucks that this happened, but I'm glad that it happened, because it erased all doubts, because I don't know if there's going to be a harder fight than this one, where I had to endure two things at once, and I did it. You know what I mean?
To gain more belief in yourself there.
Exactly, more self-belief.
That's awesome. Congrats on the victory.
Thank you.